Pete, you have an equal say in making the Future Five list. Use your voice, man. Speak up.
This was purely a lack of preparation on your end.
Well, why don't you say it, Peter? We'll make it a Future Six.
Why is Brentford on there?
You can tell. What's the
New
game
Mexico,
you wanna
Montana
look out
State
for?
is at 4 p.m. on Saturday. It's worth tuning into over any of that garbage. Actually, not any of that garbage. The Brentford
Offensive.
game.
Whoa.
Well, you know what's great? You know what's awesome, Peter? The Brentford game is on Sunday. In that New Mexico game, that's on Saturday. So you can watch both.
Hello, and welcome back to SportNotes. Today is August 18th. I am Chad, your fellow rookie and co-host, and I am here with the Boston boys, PJ, Zeke, and Peter. What is up, guys?
What's going on, man?
So, like you said last week, and I've been seeing it all over now, college football seems like it's starting up. I guess it starts earlier than the NFL, which I didn't really realize. Yeah. So I assume you guys are getting excited because that's all you guys care about ever once it starts.
Excited as hell.
We're jonesing for the first kickoff.
Getting a little tuned up for that kickoff, Pete.
Oh yeah, Chad. I'll get into it in my segment, but Chad, today let's kick off with a little college football themed game. How does that sound?
Yeah, let's do it. Never too early for a little game.
Oh yeah. All right, so this one is we're gonna do mascot or not. So we're gonna say a mascot name, and you have to guess if it's a Division I college football team's mascot or not. They could be fake, they could be real, or they could be a mascot of a team that does not have Division I college football.
Oh, so you might say a mascot that is an NFL mascot.
Or a Division III mascot, or just a basketball
dude, are you
mascot.
Kidding me?
Yep.
This is ridiculous.
Yep.
I don't know any of this.
Hey, man. Let's just see how you do.
That makes it more fun. The
Yeah.
harder, the better.
All right, I'll do my best. All
right, Chad, so I'll kick it off.
Sure.
All right.
And the first one is Zippy the Kangaroo.
Zippy the Kangaroo.
That's correct.
Sounds like a serial character. No way, dude. First of all, no school is going to have a kangaroo as their mascot in America. Secondly, if they did, they would not name it Zippy. They'd name it like Hoppy or Jumpy or Ray Gun.
That's a Ray Gun? First of all, you're wrong. It actually is the mascot of the Akron Zips.
The Akron Zips?
LeBron James is from there, Chad.
Yeah.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Akron, Ohio.
What is a zip? Like, why are they the Akron Zips?
I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea.
All right, Laffy Pants, you want to go next?
Yep. All right, so I already failed.
Yeah. Let's hope you can get this one.
Me too.
The next one is Big Red the Hilltopper.
Big Red the Hilltopper?
Yep.
I don't know what a Hilltopper is.
Neither do I.
Actually, I'm going to take that as a hint, and I'm going to say it is, because if you don't know what a Hilltopper is, I don't know why you'd come up with that one as a fake, so I'm going to say it's yes.
Ooh, gave it away. Yep, you're right.
Let's go.
It's the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers.
Wow.
Conference USA in Division I football.
But you don't know what a Hilltopper is?
No idea.
Nope. And the mascot is just a big red blob.
Oh, actually?
It's like a character on Monsters vs. Aliens.
Love it. All right. Well, I got one.
1-1.
Boom. 1-1.
Next mascot we got here is Sebastian the Ibis.
The Ibis? IBIS?
Correct.
Sebastian the Ibis. I mean, I'll say yes.
Congratulations, it is one, Chad. It is the University of Miami's mascot.
Really? All right, what's an
Yeah.
Ibis? What is an Ibis?
It's a bird.
It's a bird.
Oh.
But
So
they're
weird.
the Miami Hurricanes, so it makes no sense.
I don't really
wait,
understand.
what? Oh,
why
yeah,
they
you were
wouldn't
wearing
just
that
do-
shirt last week, Pete.
That was an
Yeah.
Ibis.
Yeah.
That U is an Ibis?
Oh, no. Oh, sorry.
No, the U is the University of Miami.
I have
Yeah.
a Miami
yeah.
shirt that has the Ibis on it.
All right, I will go. And Chad, this one is the trees.
Just the trees. No color, no nothing.
Just a
No,
tree.
no specification of tree, like the oak
Nope,
trees.
just
or
a tree.
Peter, I'm going to say no. That sounds like one that you came up with as a fake one.
Chad, it is the Stanford tree.
It's a California school,
Oh,
Chad. Come on.
Yeah.
I know Stanford tree. Like the tree is their symbol, but that's their mascot is just
Yes,
a tree.
they have someone dressed up as
Yeah.
a tree who runs
Oh my
onto
god!
the
Dude,
field.
of course Stanford's mascot is just a tree. That's the most pretentious thing I've ever heard.
But you said you knew it was a tree, but still said it wasn't a
No,
mascot.
like because when I lived in the
Oh.
Bay Area, like around campus, like I know they have like the tree on the S, right?
Of course,
but I didn't
of course.
realize. Of course,
Yeah.
but I didn't know that that was their mascot. So what am I at? 2 and 2?
2-2. Yep.
All right.
Next one we got Peter the Anteater.
Yeah, why not? Let's say it is.
That's incorrect.
Oh.
Now we did throw you a curveball here. It is a mascot for UC Irvine, but they're not in Division I college football.
Okay, yeah. See
So-
that? Like I'm never gonna get that.
Well, it's a 50-50 shot.
Yeah,
yes
never
or
say
no.
never, Chad.
All right. So I'm 2 and 3.
I will give you your next one, and it is Will the Waxing Gibbous.
Will the Waxing Gibbous? Is
Correct.
a waxing gibbous like a type of moon?
Correct. Yeah.
Will the Waxing Gibbous? No way, dude. No.
It would be such a great
I
name
know.
for a mascot. I love it, but yeah.
It's
no,
not.
you're right, Chad.
Yeah, no.
It's not.
No.
Yeah.
No one's going to make. Did you guys make that one up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Love
PJ's
that.
favorite moon shape.
Yeah.
the
So
My fa-
Waxing
it's my-
Gibbous?
My favorite phase of the moon. It won me
Phase
some
of the
money
moon.
last year on Thanksgiving. So
Yeah.
be on the lookout for those
Wow.
moon plays.
PJ, you might be one of the only people I know who has a favorite phase of the moon.
Hey, the moon's cool.
Yeah, it's great.
You got to
great.
appreciate the moon.
Come out here to LA, you'll meet a lot of astrology followers who will love you.
No, I'm okay.
Next one is Tina the Tooth Fairy.
My shiny
No.
teeth and me.
It's a great
No.
song.
There's
Correct.
no
That-
way that's real. Yeah, no.
That is made up. That is
Who's
made
gonna have
up.
the Tooth Fairy as their mascot? Two more.
Coming at you here, Woody the Woodpecker.
Oh wait, Woody the Woodpecker is not. That's a character from something.
Damn it. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah,
you're
what's
correct.
is he a
Yeah.
Looney Tune?
I don't
I
know.
have no idea.
So you didn't get that one past me.
Wow,
I
so
can
you're
look it up
5
for
and
you,
3.
Chad.
So you've
5 and
you've
3,
already
so I
gone
won.
Positive.
I won.
Yep.
Well, we're gonna do one more for the sake of the game.
Yeah, of
Sure,
course.
sure.
Chad, Woody the Woodpecker. He is a character.
Okay.
I'm looking at.
Every time we need a stat, it's
HQ
now over to
Peach.
Peach.
Yeah,
Beck
hey,
Peach in
pretty-
the HQ.
All right, Chad. I'm
1940
gonna give you your last
Stat
one
J.
here.
Stat J.
Last one here. Sammy the Banana Slug.
Banana Slug.
Correct. Yeah, Banana Slug.
I'm just gonna say yes because I'm finishing with an up record either way, and I want that to be real.
It is a mascot.
Okay.
That said, though, it is not a football mascot. It is the mascot of UC Santa Cruz.
Yeah, I feel like these. I don't know. Maybe there's a history behind some of them, but I feel like these schools just kind of were like, let's pick the most random animal or creature we know and just like make it our mascot.
Yeah, I mean, after looking up, because you asked about the Zips, and I looked it up, they actually initially wanted to be the Zippers, but they
Really?
shortened it to the Zips. Yeah, it was a type of shoe.
What?
Yeah, back in like the 1940s.
More you
Interesting.
know.
I
The
love that.
Zips. Well, speaking of random stuff, I know this guy who has an encyclopedia of really random sports stats. Let's get Grant's random stat of the week.
George Hill was a basketball player. He played for the Pacers and a lot of other teams. He owns a ranch in Texas where he raises different antelope and exotic deer.
Interesting stat.
Thanks,
segment.
Grant. That was great. Let's dive right into our segments this week. Pete, as always, we will start with you in Pete's Corner. Take it away.
Wonderful. Thank you, Chad.
Of course.
Very
of
exciting
course.
times in the college football world, so we're going to touch on that. College football is starting this upcoming Saturday. It's called Week 0. Basically, it's like a week before the first week of the season, and there's a couple games as kind of like an appetizer to the season starting.
So week 0 starts Saturday, or we're in week 0 now?
It's only Saturday, so in college football, when you say a week, early in the season, all the games are still usually on Fridays and Saturdays. They're not throughout the week. Most games are played on Saturdays,
Right.
with few exceptions. So for Week 0, they're all on Saturday. There's only 4
Got it.
games this year. Usually there's
A little more.
10 games maybe.
Yeah.
Why are
And-
there only 4?
Because it's supposed to be just like an appetizer to the season where there's a couple games early on. They're usually not as big schools playing, just to kind of generate some early games and
Get some
It's
buzz
kind of
going.
ease
Get
you
some
in.
buzz. Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
dipping your toes in the hot tub before you really
Yep.
sink in. Get the bubbles in your suit.
Specific
I wouldn't have said it like
example,
that, but yeah.
Really? Sure.
Oh yeah.
Week 0 this year. So every Week 0, the first game of the season, and this has been maybe 3, this is the third year of
Third
this,
year.
I believe. They play in Ireland. So there's a game in Ireland. Is it the Aer Lingus Arena?
Yeah, I think it's Aviva Stadium.
It's where they play
Aviva's-
their rugby
Yeah.
games.
Yeah.
It's the main stadium in Dublin.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
2 years ago it was Northwestern Nebraska. Last year it was Notre Dame and Navy. This year it's going to be Florida State, Georgia Tech.
Who's expected to win? Who's the favorite? Of that
Florida
game?
State is favorite. So Florida State is
Okay.
number 10 in the country.
Right.
They're probably the favorite to win their conference. Next week we'll talk more about like a preview of the season and other things. This week we're just talking about all right, Week 0, what's coming up.
Yeah.
That's the best game. It's a noon kickoff. It'll be a lot of fun to watch 'cause it's like the first game of the season for all football,
Yep.
NFL,
Wow.
NCAA, in Ireland, big teams. A lot of people tune into that game. After that, we have New Mexico versus Montana State. New Mexico is one of the worst college football teams, and then Montana State plays in the division below. I won't get into the complicated details about that.
Okay.
But they're like a division below, but they're one of the best teams in that division. So they're actually favored to win the game over New Mexico, who's a division up. Then we have SMU Nevada. Nevada is hot garbage as well. SMU just moved to the ACC, so they're pretty heavily favored in that game.
Okay.
SMU is Southern Methodist University, so
Yeah,
they're in
yeah,
Dallas,
yeah.
Texas. And then the last game of the night, the nightcap, and I know PJ is jonesing for this one. We have Delaware
right game.
State on the island playing Hawaii
Best
at
game of the
midnight.
slate.
Yeah.
Oh, they're playing in Hawaii.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
nothing
yeah.
beats the midnight Hawaii kickoff. So
I'll be honest, I had no idea Hawaii had a football team.
oh yeah, they have
They do.
everything.
Well, actually, wait, let me rephrase. Do they have an NFL team in Hawaii? No. Okay. Okay, so that makes sense. Of course, they probably have a college football team. That makes sense.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
they have a pretty big
University of
college.
Hawaii.
The big news this season is they expanded the playoff at the end of the year. So, 10 years ago, I don't know the exact amount of years, it was only the top 2 teams played in the championship after the regular season.
Yeah.
Then they expanded it to the top 4, and they play like a semifinal and a final.
Right.
Now they're expanding to 12 for the first time
Oh,
this year.
wow. Oh, my God.
So the top 4 conference winners. So, the teams are split into a bunch of different conferences. Top 4 ranked conference winners get a bye. And then 5 plays 12, 6 plays 11, 7 plays 10, 8 plays 9. So they do like a game to get in. So there's a lot more buzz this year because more teams are going to have a chance to make the playoff this year.
Do you know why they changed that this year?
You're adding 2 more rounds.
Yeah.
The first round is on the college campuses, so there's a lot of money to be made there. Viewership, the fans love it.
Yeah.
And then the second round, again, you're playing 4 extra games with some of the biggest teams. Like, there's a lot of money to be had in it, and you're giving more teams a chance at winning the finals.
One of the major arguments was there's only 4 teams, so a lot of people felt they got snubbed. It's just going to be the same thing.
It's going to be the
with
same
12
thing
teams.
anyway. Yeah.
It's like, oh, there's 2, like, we should have bet in. Like, it's ironic.
But now the number 13 team is saying that.
Exactly.
Not the number 5.
Not the number 5.
But yeah, so that's the excitement for week 0 in this upcoming season, and where a lot of the chatter is going to be about. So
And where can you watch these games usually?
CBS,
Yeah.
ESPN, ABC, NBC.
Okay.
It depends on the game.
All the major
Fox,
networks.
The usuals.
Yeah.
The usuals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Florida State game will be on ESPN.
or ABC.
I'm looking at it now. It's on ESPN.
ESPN. Okay.
HQ Peach. So tune into the college football week 0 starting this coming Saturday.
Speaking of college football, we're going to do our other game for today. So we're going to hop right into a blind rank.
Chad, you're
Yeah.
doing this too, right?
Yes.
I think I am doing it this week. Was the plan.
Yes.
This is going to be really random because I won't know. Although Pete kind of just taught me some stuff, so we'll see how much of that I can learn from and remember.
I tried to do some teams that, there's some major national buzz around, or they're top teams, or there's a team that we have, connections to.
All right, well, let's
Don't
do
look
it.
at me. I already
What's going to
know
be
what's
funny
coming,
about this
Peter.
is seeing how my rankings compare to Zeke and PJ's because they actually know the stats and the histories of these teams, and I'm going to be going off of the name and the state.
Yep. All right, so I'll kick it off with number 1, horns down, the Texas Longhorns. Everyone ready?
Yep.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
3.
Four.
Hey,
Okay.
look at
There you go.
that. All right,
Okay.
I'm in. I got that.
Number 2,
Boom.
Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
All right,
Easy.
putting that
All
at
right.
8.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
7.
6.
You're
Wait, where
close.
did you guys
It's
put
close.
it? Where did you guys put it?
I put it at 7
Put it
just to piss
5.
Peter off.
Oh, and I did 6. So okay, I'm
Yeah.
keeping pace
In the
here.
ballpark.
Okay.
Okay. Number 3, Toledo, a.k.a. the
Oh.
Tolds.
Not my
Tolds.
Tolds. You're gonna make me do this, Peter?
I
I have
Okay.
to.
3, 2, 1.
7.
They're
That
my
might-
they're my favorite team. Peter
Yeah.
just put me in a real bind.
But you
there.
just
I
know
didn't
they
wanna put 'em
suck.
at
You
8.
just know they suck.
All right, well, up next we have the Colorado Buffaloes.
Oh,
3, 2, 1.
7.
5.
This is probably one of the most talked about teams. Deion Sanders is on the
Yeah.
team. They're like a social media team. They're going to be the buzz on the news
Yeah, they'll be in the headlines every week.
every single
Oh my
week.
God.
And
they'll be in the headlines no matter if they get blown out or if they blow out
Yeah.
another team.
Yep.
All because of
Exactly.
Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Up next we have Clemson.
Hey, hey.
All right,
All right,
3,
go.
2, 1.
4. Guys,
Okay.
I'm crushing this right now.
Chad's
Yeah,
gonna have
you're
a better,
pretty- you're
Chad's gonna have a
exceeding
better ranking than
expectations.
me.
All right, but I have 1, 2, and 8 left.
I think Clemson
so-
slots in well I have him between Texas and Notre Dame.
Up next we have the Liberty Flames.
All right, my ranking is just going down.
I like
All
where
right.
I'm at right now.
I don't like where I'm at.
Yeah, I got it.
3, 2, 1.
6. Where'd you put
My
it,
last
DJ?
pick.
I had to put them 3.
Jesus.
I only have 2 and 1 left. And
I mean,
Yeah,
I
Pete, you
know
screwed up this blind rank.
I
Yeah.
really messed up.
What are you holding
Yes.
out for, man?
He just wanted Notre Dame to be really low.
I put
Yeah.
Notre Dame too low,
Just to spite me.
just to spite Peter. And then I had to put Toledo at 8. It's just a disaster over.
That's what happens when you attack your friends, man.
Well, up next we have Michigan, the former national champions. 3, 2, 1.
1. I think you got to put them there just because they won the national championship.
Yeah,
last
Pete said
year.
that. I
But
was like, all right.
they lost a lot, so they
I
lost their
understand-
head coach, their starting quarterback,
The
their starting
problem
running
is, though,
back.
Pete, I don't know what your last pick is going to be here, and most likely, like, it's not going to be one that I can put above the team who won last year.
Yeah, it's you can't argue that they won the national championship.
Depending on
Yeah.
whatever team you say, I think there are a couple of teams that you could put at number 1 over them.
Absolutely, including this one, the Georgia Bulldogs.
well, you're not blind
Number 1.
ranking them.
That's easy.
Georgia
They didn't win
Bulldogs.
the Natty last year.
Yeah, they
I
didn't
love-
win the
I'm
I'm
Natty
talking
last
about
year.
this year. This year.
They're
That
the
still
best team in
play
the
factors
country.
into where they are ranked this year.
Really? Because Georgia's
All right.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah,
Or you
we have
guys
one
already
spot
have
left,
one.
mate. All right, guys, tell me how I did. So this is my order from 1 to 8. I have Mish, Georgia Bulldogs, Texas Longhorns, Clemson, Colorado Buffaloes, Notre Dame, Toledo, Liberty Flames.
So
I actually really like
So-
where
That's
your
pretty
rankings
good,
are.
Yeah,
right?
it's
I
pretty
think that's
good.
pretty- Listen, I think I did better. I think I did pretty well.
I can tell you right now, you did better than mine. So
I paid attention when you gave your update. You know, I'm
happy.
I am listening.
all right.
Man.
Should we
Cool.
move on to our good friend Zeke?
No, first we need your blunt take of the week, Pete.
Oh, that's right. Can't forget.
No, give us
Alright.
give us your dirty take. Tear
All right,
some
my
hearts out.
blunt take.
Filthy.
We're actually going to make a prediction, and it's going to be a very bold prediction. I am going to predict that New Mexico, their first game with their new head coach, Bronco Mendenhall, they are going to win outright against Montana State. Montana State is a minus 9-point favorite, which means that they're
Okay.
favored to win by 9 or more points. That's a pretty heavy favorite.
Okay.
The game is in New Mexico. They're a division above Montana State. They got a new coach. He's a successful coach. My blunt take is New Mexico is going to win outright, and they're going to start the season 1-0, even though they're considered one of the worst FBS teams
Oh.
in the college football.
When are they
landscape.
playing? When are they playing? Are they playing
This
week
Saturday,
0?
week
Oh, they're
0.
playing week
Yep,
0.
yep.
Wow. All right. Pete, that was a pretty tame blunt take for you.
Well,
I mean,
if you want
It's
footage
still
of
a
me
pretty
watching
bold.
the game,
It's
on
a bold
Saturday,
take. It's
No,
bold.
it's bold. It's
won't
bold.
be very
Yeah.
tame.
We should put a live stream camera into.
Nope, don't do that.
All
Bad
right.
no,
idea.
you definitely shouldn't live stream Peter watching football.
Well, good stuff, Pete. Thanks for the update on week 0. I actually will probably tune into these games, which I very likely would not have done last year, but I feel like I have some more
There we go.
awareness of it now. So there you go. All right. Next, as always, we're going to go to you, Zeke, and Zeke's Lounge. And in case our listeners were wondering, Zeke is going to start talking about the NFL because it's coming up. So he's not just going to be our baseball guy anymore. He's also our football guy.
And resident Olympic expert.
And
Let's see,
still
the
the
Olympics
resident
guy.
Olympics expert.
Yep, Ray Gunn's my correspondent on the ground there, over in
Emphasis on the
France.
ground.
Yeah, so baseball's starting to wind down a little bit here as we enter the playoffs. So I'm going to start kind of talking more about the NFL, latest news, some things to look forward to as the season starts here.
Yeah.
Really quick, though, wanted to piggyback off of Peter's update last week. He mentioned Matthew Judon was one of the players, really good, famous players holding out from training camp because
Right,
of
right, right.
contract disputes. He was actually just traded from the New England Patriots to the Atlanta Falcons a couple of days ago.
Oh.
So
Horrible deal.
And that
Horrible
is
deal,
that
yeah.
that's because of his holdout, very likely. Like they gave him a better deal or something.
it's funny. So they actually haven't signed. He hasn't signed a contract extension yet with the Falcons, but basically the Pats weren't going to pay him more money and sign him to a longer term deal, so they wanted to get rid of him. And instead of just letting him walk in free agency next year, they thought they could get some value back for him. So they got a third round draft pick in next year's NFL draft for him.
Wow.
Which
Okay.
is not a great return.
It's a
Yeah,
complete
at all.
joke.
He's the best player on the Pats. I think they're gonna have a tough time replacing him on defense. As a Pats fan, we're in store for a tough
Rough
season.
year.
What I wanted to talk about today was previewing the upcoming NFL season. This is the year of the rookie quarterback. So
Go rookies.
Quarterback, probably the most important position on any NFL team. This year, we actually had 5 rookie quarterbacks drafted within the first 12 picks of the NFL draft, which is unprecedented.
Is that unprecedented? It is.
It happened in 2021. I don't think it was the first 12, but 5 quarterbacks were drafted in the first round in 2021.
In a normal year, like how many rookies would even be drafted in that, if any?
For quarterbacks?
Yeah.
I'd say, 2 to 3, probably big names.
Okay.
Yeah. 5's a lot, especially your first 12 picks, too. Yeah, we're going to have a lot of rookies out there, and I'm just going to go through each one quickly. The first overall pick was Caleb Williams. He went to Southern California, USC, for college. By far the best talent in the draft. He was the Heisman winner in 2022. Had a great career at Oklahoma and USC. He's looked really good this preseason. The Bears have some really high hopes for him. He's kind of got a big personality, so he likes to paint his fingernails a lot on the sidelines. Not many people do that in the NFL, so it kind of makes him stand out amongst the players.
I feel like that would be kind of a waste of time, considering he probably just breaks his nails like every time he goes on the field.
Yeah, it's part of what makes him like kind of this standout personality. Like he does
he's
exactly.
That's cool.
Again, all you got to know is best quarterback coming out of the draft, immediately going to start, has looked good.
Okay.
They call him like the TikTok player. He you know what I'm talking about.
He leans into the fan base.
Yeah. So number 2, Jaden Daniels. He got drafted by the Washington Commanders. He actually just won the Heisman this past year, and the Heisman, by the way, is the best player in all of college football.
Wow.
So. A lot of hype surrounding him. He transferred from Arizona State to LSU, Louisiana State University, and that's where his career really took off. He's a slippery quarterback. You know, he really can run the ball well, but he's got a rocket of an arm. He's also looked good in the Commanders' offense to start the preseason, so he is expected to start right away for them. And the number 3 pick, so 3 quarterbacks were drafted with the first 3 picks in the draft, is Drake May. Okay. He went to the New England Patriots. So
the Pats did get one.
We did, yeah. Yes. So the Mac Jones experiment failed miserably.
Yes.
Had to reset there with Drake May, the youngest quarterback in this draft, and probably the one with the most raw talent. So he's got the lowest floor right now, but arguably one of the highest ceilings. He could be very, very good. A lot of people think he's going to sit for a year behind the current quarterback for the Pats, Jacoby Brissett, just to learn the offense, get acclimated to the NFL. He did look good in his second preseason game, but personally, I would sit him down for a year. Let him develop, let him get comfortable, and then start him next year. And ironically, he took Mac Jones' number 10. So we can do a full reset there. Next guy, J.J. McCarthy.
Michael Penix, who was also a first-round draft pick for the Falcons.
Oh, I completely forgot about him.
Yep.
So actually, there were, 6 quarterbacks were taken in the first 12 picks this year. Michael Penix, he was on Washington. They went to the national championship. They lost to Michigan. There's questions about his health. He's had a couple bad injuries over his career, but the Falcons picked him, I believe, 8th overall, which didn't make any sense because they signed a quarterback this offseason to hundreds of millions of dollars worth of a contract. So you're like, why the heck would they draft a rookie quarterback this year?
Yeah.
But they still did. They said he's a project. He's going to sit for a couple of years while Kirk Cousins, the current quarterback that they just signed, will run the helm there, but it was a bit of a head scratcher of a pick. So J.J. McCarthy, he was drafted number 10 overall, and he was picked by the Minnesota Vikings. He actually won the national championship with Michigan this past year.
Cool.
So if you're wondering, like, hey, if he won the national championship, why wasn't he picked number 1 overall? There are a lot of questions surrounding his actual pure talent, because Michigan was known to run the ball a lot. They used their running backs more, and McCarthy
as opposed to like him doing a lot of
exactly. He didn't have to do as much in the offense, and they had a great defense as well. So
you put him on a team where he doesn't necessarily have that same support.
Exactly, right? He might flounder.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So he fell a little bit, but the Vikings were excited about him. He looked good in his first preseason game, but unfortunately, he got injured, tore his meniscus in his knee, out for the year. So we're not going to see him at all. And he was competing for a starting job against Sam Darnold in Minnesota.
Wow. Okay.
So you're not going to see him. And then the next one is Bo Nix. He was drafted number 12 overall by the Denver Broncos. He's an interesting story. He's 24 years old, so he's already a pretty old guy in the league in terms of like just when you're drafted.
So old, but anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
He started his career at Auburn, transferred to Oregon, career blossomed there. He was a Heisman candidate 2 years in a row. led Oregon to great records in 2022 and 2023. But again, he's super old relative to other draft picks.
Other
Okay,
rookies.
yeah.
Other rookies. Yep.
Other rookies, yeah.
But the Broncos were excited about him. He's competing for a starting job. I think he's going to get the starting job for Denver because he's looked very good this preseason. And Denver's been looking for a quarterback ever since Peyton Manning retired. So they can really, really use a good quarterback. So hopefully Bo Nix hits. Those are some big names in general that you're going to hear once the season starts. It's the year of the rookie quarterbacks.
Wow.
So
it's the year of the rookies everywhere. I mean, in baseball,
Yeah.
it feels like a rookie hits for the cycle or throws a no-hitter every other week.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's impressive that considering how high a level of play they're at. So yeah,
Very cool. That's awesome.
keep that in mind.
All right,
yeah.
go rookies. Cool. All right, Zeke, what else you got for us?
Quickly, I'm just going to do kind of a brief sort of overview of fantasy football.
This would be helpful because I have no clue how fantasy football works.
That, and also I understand that the SportNotes podcast, we're starting up our own fantasy football league before the season
we
starts.
are. So
So
I gotta
that'll
know.
be exciting. I think that'll probably eventually take over the Golnick Bowl once baseball ends.
Right.
But at this time of year, a lot of people are holding these fantasy football drafts, whether that's with your friends or in the office. You could have like office leagues and stuff. I think it's a very, very popular sort of thing that occurs in parallel to football season once the NFL starts up. I just want to kind of give a brief explanation, overview of what to expect. If you get invited to a league, if you're hesitant to join, the notes I give you, the Cliff Notes, should kind of prepare you well to join a league. Feel comfortable in it. Most of the leagues, 9 times out of 10, are going to be held on ESPN.com. That's where most of the drafts will be held. You're picking offensive players in a draft. It's called a snake draft. So say there's like 12 teams in a league. It goes 1 to 12 and then 12 to 1. So reverse order every round. You're picking players with each pick every round.
Okay.
Yep.
Got it.
And typically there's around 8 to 12 teams per league.
Okay.
Right? So that's the general number of teams to expect. And you're only drafting, for the most part, offensive players. That's quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, and then a flex position where you can put either a running back, wide receiver, or tight end within that position.
Okay.
Most of the points are scored based on receiving yards for wide receivers or running backs, rushing yards for running backs, and then tight ends get receiving yards as well, and then the amount of touchdowns that they score. And then for quarterbacks, it's how many passing yards they throw, how many touchdowns they throw. It's all these like very popular offensive stats. That's how you're getting points for them.
Got it. Okay.
Right? And now in some leagues, they could do instances where you have to draft a kicker on football teams, so they kick field goals, right? And then you could draft defenses as well. But the moral of the story is focus on offensive players, right?
Yeah.
That's how you're going to score the majority of your points. That's kind of what to expect. Draft offensive players. And typically, like, they'll rank players 1 to 300 every year. If you pick a guy around the same number where your pick is at in the draft, chances are it's a good pick. Like, you can't go wrong with it. So it's not rocket science. You got your players. Make sure to monitor them every week, right? Go on for the whole season. And then depending on where you land in the standings, you could go to the playoffs. For me personally, one of the highlights of football season is fantasy football.
Yeah.
I think for our league, we wanted to discuss like a prize for the winner and then also another punishment for the last place team. So looking forward to ironing out those details.
Yeah, we'll have to figure that out because I might be doing a punishment for the Golnick Bowl anyway, so we'll see. No, that's great. That's actually very helpful, Zeke. And I think we had talked about also at some point doing a study hall, SportNotes study hall, actually on fantasy football. So look out for that as well if you want to know a little bit more. But I think that's a pretty good intro for dummies like me. All right, you got anything else for us this week, Zeke?
That's it for me.
All right, we'll go to you, PJ. PJ's Patio. Give us what's going on in the world of soccer. Take it away.
The English Premier League, it started off this weekend, so we've already had a bunch of games happen.
Yeah.
So just brief rundown on the results that we had in the top stories. Manchester United, they beat Fulham 1-0. Unfortunately, my Paul's call was on the other side of that. I wanted Fulham to win, so it did not hit this week. Joshua Zirkzee was the goal scorer in that game. Arsenal, they beat Wolves 2-0. As people know that watch this podcast, I'm a huge Arsenal fan, so it was a good win. Kai Havertz scored and Bukayo Saka scored. Funny thing about that is Saka assisted Havertz's goal and Havertz assisted Saka's goal. Newcastle ended up beating Southampton 1-0. Southampton is a newly promoted team. We talked about that in our English Premier League study hall, so definitely check that out and plug it.
There's a plug, study hall.
Plug it right here. The interesting part of this game was Fabian Schär was sent off in the 28th minute. He got a straight red card. So he was kicked out of the match for headbutting someone. If you watch the video, he didn't headbutt someone. He
didn't?
Walked up. He pretty much walked up to him and they put their heads together, but there wasn't an aggressive like swinging of the head forward. The referee gave him a red card. They did end up winning though, 1-0, so good for Newcastle there. And then also Manchester City played today. They won the Premier League last year and they beat Chelsea 2-0. Tottenham, Hotspur and Leicester play tomorrow in the final match of the weekend. They play on Monday at 3 p.m. That's going to be on USA Network.
You got a prediction for that Tottenham game? Arsenal's biggest rival, by the way.
Yeah, they're Arsenal's rivals.
The Spurs.
So I can't in good conscience say that they're going to win a game. They may tie. So that's what's happening in the Premier League. Now, coming back over to the United States men's national team, it sounds like we may have our new coach. Mauricio Pochettino has a verbal agreement with the United States men's national team. The deal's not done yet. Apparently, within the next 48 hours as of today, they are going to have a meeting to, finalize everything and make sure that he's happy with his compensation. I think that's the biggest thing right now is obviously bringing in a coach from Europe. They get paid a lot of money by these clubs.
Yeah,
so
sure.
The U.S. soccer, they just want to make sure that they can get the finances and make sure that he's paid properly. The good news is it sounds like the saga is coming to an end and we're going to have a coach that really has a lot of experience over in Europe. And, I'm really excited to see what he can do with this young United States team.
Went from goodbye Greg to drop Klopp to some guy named Pellegrino, and now we have this guy, Pochettino. Is that how you say it?
Pochettino. Yeah, he's a...
Pochettino.
He's Argentinian.
Poch for sure.
Yeah, just call him Poch.
This has been a saga that's basically gone on since SportNotes started.
2026 is fast approaching. The World Cup's going to be here before we know it, so hopefully they get this deal signed and he can get back and...
kick him into shape.
Yeah, training with the team. So their first matches will be in late September during the international break. So hopefully we'll see Poch on the sidelines then.
Well, Peach, you already mentioned your Paul's call didn't hit. So unfortunately,
did not.
Fortunately, no one will be getting a gift card this week. But what is your prediction? What is your Paul's call for this coming week? Hopefully this one will land.
Since it didn't hit last week, and I feel bad about that, what I've decided is I actually picked 2 games in which I have a call during week 0 this weekend, so for college football.
Oh.
And what we're going to be doing is if one of these picks hits, someone's getting a gift card. If both hits, then I'm going to give 2 followers a gift card.
Whoa!
Very exciting. Whoa. We're going a little crazy here, I know.
PJ loves giving out gift cards, man.
I do. You know what?
He's got deep pockets.
Not really, but I do like giving out the gift cards. It's great to hand them out and make sure that people are enjoying their coffees.
Yeah, love that.
So the picks for this week, we have under 55.5 points in the Florida State versus Georgia Tech game, which is going to be in Dublin. Historically, that game has just always been under. Teams just don't like to score points in Dublin.
It's rainy.
It's rainy, it's cold, it's wet, jet lag. Just
opening game of the season.
Number of factors there. So yeah, we're going to take the under in that game.
Combined scores are under 55. Okay.
Correct.
I'm aligned. I like that.
Cool. This is a pick that Peter, Zeke, and I have discussed, and we all like it. Another one is I'm picking it over now because we had under the points. So I think that the SMU versus Nevada game, it's just going to smash the over. I mean, 56.5 points. It's too low. It's
to the moon.
It's going to smash the over.
The Waxy
Gibbous.
Yeah.
Oh!
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Same
we were aligned.
The listeners are getting an inside look to the inner
Peter's
workings
addiction.
of Peter's mind when making bet predictions.
Correct.
Yeah.
Zeke's over here acting like he isn't thinking the same thing.
Well, Peach, let's hope. So again, if even one of those games hits, like you're saying, then someone will win a gift card. Let's hope both hit so we can get 2 followers and subscribers. Some $5 to Duncan. Well, great segments overall, guys. Awesome stuff. It's exciting to finally be moving towards the end of the dog days. We're going to bring back the Future 5 now. Olympics are over, so, there's other things to kind of look forward to. So give us 5 games or 5 things we should maybe look out for this coming week.
So the first one, we've talked about this a fair amount this episode, but Florida State, Georgia Tech, kicking off at noon Eastern on ESPN on Saturday, August 24th.
And then we have a Premier League game. We got Arsenal versus Aston Villa. It's going to be 12:30 Eastern on Saturday. and that's going to be on USA Network.
Another portion of Paul's call here, SMU versus Nevada, 8 p.m. Eastern on Saturday the 24th on CBS Sports Network. Finally, the nightcap at 11:59 p.m. Eastern on the island, Hawaii versus Delaware State. Look out for that. If you're up, tune in. It'll be a great game.
There wasn't a channel listing on that just for
it's
our
on
viewers.
Like the Hawaii network. They've like put it on Facebook and you pay for it.
Not be paying for it.
Yeah, we probably will be because there's going to be a lot of midnight Hawaii games.
Oh, we'll talk about it.
Put it on your Delta card.
Yeah.
And then just our final Future 5 here. Liverpool and Brentford, they play in the primetime game on Sunday at 11 a.m. And that's going to be on Peacock specifically.
Very offended. Very offended that New Mexico is not on that list. And Brentford is.
What, on the Future 5 list?
Yes.
Pete, you have an equal say in making the Future 5 list.
Yeah.
Use your voice, man. Speak up.
This was purely a lack of preparation on your end.
Yeah.
Could have had input there, man.
Well, you should put it on there because it's definitely part of the Future 5.
Why don't you say it, Peter? We'll make it a Future 6.
Why is Brentford on there?
You can tell. What's the
New
game
Mexico,
you wanna
Montana
look out
State
for?
is at 4 p.m. on Saturday. My blunt take is New Mexico is winning. It's worth tuning into over any of that garbage. Actually, not any of that garbage. The Brentford
Offensive.
game.
Whoa.
Well, you know what's great? You know what's awesome, Peter? The Brentford game is on Sunday. In that New Mexico game, that's on Saturday. So you
Whoa.
can watch both.
You can.
Mind blown.
Crazy idea.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, tune into all those games, both soccer, English Premier League, and college football games. We got a lot of predictions, a lot of calls. And I think that's it for this week, right? You guys got anything else?
No?
That's it.
No, I think that's all. So again, remember to subscribe to our channel, follow us on Instagram and TikTok for other updates throughout the week. That's about it for this episode. We will see you next week as always, and thank you for tuning in.